Hello, this is Rick Morris. This is a series of videos for recovery from alcohol and drug abuse. We're following the 12 steps, and this is step 10, episode 3, titled Toxic and Emotionally Healthy People. It's kind of a long title, but there's a lot to say about it. The step 10 states we continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, we promptly admitted it. Now, when we're in recovery, people around us fall into a continuum line. What a continuum line is, it's a line that stretches from one extreme to the other. And on the one end of the line are emotionally healthy people, and on the other end of the line are toxic people. Now, in between emotionally healthy and toxic, there are recovering people, irritating people, and broken people. So we're talking about the extremes here, and there are people in between that we're not discussing. Anyway, I want you to understand the difference between emotionally healthy people and toxic people, because it's very important in the realm of recovery. Now, I'm going to pause after I ask questions so that if it's a group, you can answer and you can pause the video and then start it up again, and I'll give you my answer. No answers wrong and no answers right, but most people are interested in what my answer is. So here we go. Emotionally healthy people are people who give more than they take. They are a pleasure to be around. No matter what the circumstances are, they have a positive and constructive outlook. They always look for the good in the other people. You never hear them play the blame game, and they typically don't run anybody down or have a bunch of negative things to say about people. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum are toxic people. Toxic people are selfish. They always look out for themselves at the expense of everyone else around them. Toxic people take the oxygen out of the room. They make people around them uncomfortable because they emit such a foul spirit. They are emotionally draining and combative. They are mostly unpredictable, except that they always talk about how someone else is to blame for their problems. They do not have a working moral compass. Bad things happen to them because of the way they think and the way they approach life. Do you know any toxic people? Can you change a toxic person? Changing a toxic person while in recovery is not a good idea. We don't need chaos when we're in recovery. Just pray for them and be kind and pleasant. Now, here's another question. Why do people have such difficulty recognizing toxic people? Well, toxic people can look very attractive. They sometimes are strong, and the poisonous traits of that person are not readily apparent. We can be drawn to the strength and miss the signs of destruction around a toxic person. Actions speak louder than words. Take time to watch them before you give yourself emotionally. With time, their true colors will appear, good or bad. Look at the facts. Look at the results of what they do and what they say. Do not buy into words that don't match reality. Now, when in recovery, associate with emotionally healthy people and avoid toxic people. Now, what do I do if the toxic ones are not avoidable because they're in my family? Well, that's a tough situation, but we got it. All our families have toxic people, or most of our families have toxic people. Always be kind and pleasant. Try to change the subject when explosive topics come up, such as politics or religion. Stay away from that. Since they are family, there'll always be a tie. But our main priority is to stay clean and sober, not to win some argument or try to change a toxic person. Attempting to change a toxic person can bring stress and relapse. Just ask God to help them. So, this is the end of this episode, and we're going to go on to the next episode. You identify toxic and healthy people in your mind. Of course, you don't point that out to them, but it'll help you stay clean and sober.